least he used to be. He doesn't care about proof. He doesn't care about the law. He only cares about what's right. He knows what I did. You can't protect me. No one can.
You think I'm a hero? I am not a hero. And if you're smart, that scares you. Because I have nothing to lose. Remember, you wanted this. Really?
We have video now.
Cat just turned the light on. The
Yeah.
cat.
We have video now. So,
Hello.
yeah, now we move forward to our next movie, Jackson Reacher.
Oh.
I assume that's his real name. The movie's called Jack
Reacher.
Reacher. The porn version, what would be the porn version? Reach Around.
Jack Reach Around. I was trying to think of like jacket. I don't know.
Jacket Reach Around. Jack Reacher from 2012, directed by Christopher McQuarrie. He directed the last 4 Mission Impossibles.
Because he and Tom are best friends.
They're buddies.
Apparently. They must be.
Yeah. Starring Tommy Cruise, little Tommy Cruise, Rosamund Pike, Richard Jenkins, Werner Herzog, David Oyelowo, Robert Duvall. Cinematography by Caleb Deschanel. Based on the actual... Oh, wait. No, I'm reading Foxcatcher stuff. Yes, Jack Reacher, the character created by Lee Child. And Tom Cruise definitely got this movie made. But Jack Reacher... It's like
That's the horror
if
version.
he turned into a werewolf or something.
Hell yeah.
Tom Cruise is not... Jack Reacher's supposed to be a big guy. If you've seen the show with Alan Ritchson, that's what he's supposed to look like, really. But Tom's like a tiny guy.
Our head bad guy in this one, not Werner, but his head henchman.
Jai
He
Courtney.
would have been... He's very pretty. And he would have been a much better Jack Reacher.
Yeah, how come Jai Courtney's not in the immediate...
Yeah, why isn't he on the short list? Jai Courtney is in this movie.
Yeah, he's... but
He's great in this movie.
Werner Herzog is great in this movie. He's got
yeah.
like 4 scenes, but amazing lines.
Shoot these fingers off before the frostbite could turn to gangrene. These I gave up to avoid working in the sulfur mine. That is how I survived when so many others did not. A man this rare can always be of use. So show me. Show me you're rare. Show me you'll do anything to survive.
So good.
Yeah, we're still in Pittsburgh because that's where all this horrible shit happened. A sniper shoots people from across the Allegheny River at PNC Park, killing 5. The detective, Emerson, finds shell casings, a Fed meter with a quarter in it, and fingerprints for a James Barr. When James Barr gets arrested, they're threatening this guy because it looks like it's pretty cut and dry. Like, all this evidence is against him. Confess or get the death penalty. He writes on a note, "Get Jack Reacher." He's also then immediately put into custody where he's beaten into a coma.
Oh my God. He's not in protective custody. They put him...
No one's protecting this guy.
No one's protecting this man.
This is also where the second movie in the row that we're discussing where the blackhead cop turns out to be a bad guy.
Oh, yes.
Because of sudden death, he's
Yeah.
like, I'm the bad guy. And in this one, he's Emerson ends up being the bad guy.
The lawyer ends up not being the bad guy.
Yeah, the DA who the movie is like, look how evil this guy is. He ends up being fine.
There's an extra level of story here where Rosamund Pike is the daughter of the DA, and she is also a lawyer, and she is a defender, and he is the prosecutor, and there's all this extra layered on I didn't really think was necessarily needed stuff about that.
Emerson and Rosamund Pike's character, Helen, I believe, they are talking about who's this guy Jack Reacher. They find out he's a pretty decorated ex-military MP investigator.
He's basically a ghost, though.
And they're like, how will we find this guy? And then he shows up.
Because he saw on the TV the guy's name, and he's been looking for this guy.
So, and at first, Reacher doesn't really want to help. He's called there because he arrived because he wants to put Barr away, because he does automatically think he's guilty, because Barr, he describes multiple types of military guys, and Barr is a guy that just wanted to kill. So he spent all this tour, he never fired a shot, and then on this one day, he shot 4 dudes, just decided to kill 4 dudes. Well, Barr didn't know it, but these 4 guys happened to have been like serial rapists or something.
Yeah, they were really bad guys.
So when the military found all that out, it was in their best interest to just smooth it over. Now, Barr didn't know he was being a vigilante. He literally just thought he was being a murderer.
And Jack Reacher was the one investigating that case. So he's the one that figured all of that out. And basically, because of all the wanting to sweep it under the rug, he didn't get to prosecute. There was nothing done to this guy.
And Jack Reacher, he's a free spirit. Like, he gets out of the military and he just wanders. He doesn't carry luggage. His balls must smell. And I was thinking that watching the show, because I'm rewatching the first season. Like, there's no way this motherfucker doesn't stink.
Yeah, we see him before he goes on this trip. He goes to a Goodwill, buys one outfit of clothes, puts them on, and pays for them and throws his other clothes away.
What about your drawers,
dude? Does he do this every time he goes to... Maybe he's freeballing. Does he do this every time he goes to a new town? That's like his, I'm switching my game, I'm going to get a new outfit.
The implication is that he just wears one outfit at a time, no luggage, just, I guess, whatever he can carry in his pockets. Mm-hmm. And
There's an awkward scene
wanderer.
Where Rosamund Pike is talking to him in his hotel room and he has no shirt on. And
it's like 55-year-old Tom Cruise.
I mean, it looks good.
Sure. I mean, yeah, he does look great for his age.
But truly, I was like, put a fucking shirt on. And then almost right after, she goes, will you put your shirt on? And he couldn't because he was washing it in the sink. So maybe after she left, he washed his pants in the sink and took a shower.
Jack Reacher-Around, got his ass, starts asking a lot of questions. And then he asked this questions like, why did he pay for parking? Which is a good question. He couldn't get that out of his head. And then he starts investigating more. And the evidence seems so locked down that he comes to the conclusion that Barr is innocent of this particular crime.
Because it's not even the location the shots came from. That is not where he would have shot from, because Barr knew what he was doing. Barr, whatever. Barr knew what he was doing. He was trained for so long, and he wouldn't have even chosen the place where they tried to say he was at.
Well, it was the fact that, like, Barr, he called Barr for a sniper mediocre, because Barr didn't really get to shoot much after his training until he got to those guys. He actually determines that there's no way Barr could shoot from the angle because there was sun in his eyes. He would have to do it from his van on the bridge, so he could pop right into the van and drive off. And this is all seems very circumstantial, but Jack Reacher, it is his movie, so we assume he's right.
And he is.
And yeah, it's the fingerprint on the coin. He can't get past that. Like, it's almost like too perfect, the setup here. But he asked Rosamund Pike to objectively look into the victims.
Which is what he did in the other shooting.
She does, and almost gets in a scary scenario with a father of a victim.
That was maybe the scariest part of the movie for me.
But they come to find out that, you know, 2 of the people were having an affair with each other and that they had met. 4 of the people were random, but one person, this lady, had inherited her husband's construction company. And they uncovered that there was this company
that tried to buy it from her, and she wouldn't sell.
She wouldn't sell, and she ended up being killed. So the conclusion here is, just to jump quickly to it, that this company hired this guy. And the guy that they hired this through, there's this dude they call the Zek, and he is Werner Herzog. And he has this amazing dialogue about this guy who he had hired to follow Reacher and also had the guy hire guys to beat up Reacher. So Reacher goes into this bar, meets this girl named Sandy. She thinks he's a pervert because that's what she was told. And he ends up going outside to fight her brothers who aren't her brothers. And, I mean, he's Jack Reacher, so he beats the shit out of everyone.
It's your last chance to walk away.
Are you kidding? It's 5 against 1.
It's 3 against 1.
How do you figure?
Once I take out the leader, which is you, I'll have to contend with 1 or 2 enthusiastic wingmen. The last 2 guys, I always run.
Well, you done this before?
And when Werner Herzog finds out about this, they kill the dude because they didn't tell him he could do the fighting thing. He was trying to do his own deal.
The fingers from your left hand.
Zek means prisoner.
And so he tells the guy, you chew off one of your fingers and I'll let you live.
You got a knife? Did I have a knife in Siberia?
And he can't do it. And he has this great line.
Always the bullet. I don't understand.
He is a great villain for barely doing anything. I mean, he's a very old man in this movie, but he is just scary as shit at the same time. Through Sandy, he kind of unpacks who's picked up on who's hired who. The guy that originally tried to attack Reacher, he's missing. His ass is probably dead. So they tell it all back through this company. And there's a lot of great car chases and shit throughout this movie, and like it really is like a really good action movie, like a little tighter than the last one was like pure 90s, but this one is a little sharper. I just kind of, maybe I'm just a dad boner, but I kind of like this Jack Reacher shit.
I liked this one too. It was good.
The second one is not as good, but the opening scene is pretty great in that one. But yeah, they do kill Sandy and.
He's very upset about that. They try to make it look like he did it.
Reacher also says that whoever did this has to train, and there has to be a gun range somewhere that would give the opportunity to shoot at hundreds of yards away. And they find it right across the state line in Ohio.
Owned by
Robert Duvall, who...
rest in peace.
They went so deep into doing this cover-up. Jack gets Robert Duvall's character, rest in peace, to... Well, he's like, who's your best shooter? And he says Barr. He says Barr's name. And he's like, but he was never alone here. And he was like, no, that's right. They went so deep to this cover-up that the Jai Courtney's character, Charles, went with Barr like they were buddies, and they would shoot together. Charles would switch his shooting results, to make Barr look, because Charles is a badass sniper.
But Barr is just average. Great. Yeah.
And so they went so far as to even fake results to some random guy in Ohio. Like, they tried to cover every fucking base. And the only reason they put the quarter in the meter was to have yet another thing with a fingerprint on it.
And I do love that Jack Reacher wouldn't let go of that fact, because truly, if you're going there to shoot people, why are you putting money in a meter?
He doesn't ever let go.
No, he can't.
When he does the reach around on you, he will not let go. Not until you're ready. And you'll know when you're ready. Something will come out. And everyone thinks that Helen's DA father is in on it. They know it's the construction angle now. They just need more evidence.
He knows that someone's in on it. That it's either her dad or this head cop guy, because the only people that knew he was in town were the 3 of those people. Helen, her dad, and the cop. And because someone came after him, someone in those 3 people told this bad guy that he was there.
Well, she ends up telling her father all that's going on about the conspiracy. And we're made to assume that it is her dad at that point.
He's just being overly cautious.
But then Emerson gets the drop, and they kidnap her and take her to a quarry. And this scene, like, it's wild. Gunny, Robert Duvall's character, does show up to back him up. But he doesn't bring Jack a gun. He gives him a knife. So
because he's like, I'm not going to let you kill people with my gun.
So Jack, he approaches. He's taken Helen's car, which has a bunch of legal files in the back, And he enters the quarry by driving top speed going backwards so that when they're shooting, they're hitting, the bullets have to go through all the paperwork. And it's a pretty wild scene, full of distractions. And then he and the Charles character, played by Jai Courtney, getting a hand-to-hand combat.
That's
and
so good.
Where Reacher breaks his neck. And then he does like a super killer shot and kills Emerson while he has Helen hostage. But then the Zek...
Who is he?
That's John Doe number 2. Man on the grassy knoll. The thing under the bed. They call him the Zek.
Werner Herzog's character is just sitting there. And that character's like...
You are a homeless drifter wanted for murder. Meanwhile, I am an old man in the wrong place at the wrong time. Thanks to you. Who is left to say otherwise? Who?
Yes, hello? Yes, there's, I have an emergency. I'm at the salt.
We'll see which one of us goes to prison.
There may be.
Yeah, because Reacher is just going to take care of business the way he wants to. I want to say one of my favorite shots in this film is from her perspective, sitting in that chair, because they're in a trailer and she's tied up in this chair facing an open door going into this rainy, scary night. And every time it shows that shot, you don't know who's about to come through that door. It could be Jack. It could be Jai Courtney. You just don't know. And that's pretty cool. I thought that was a really cool, like, suspense building.
And what's funny is that, like, all the evidence to the conspiracy is mostly gone, and all the guys who could be tried are all dead. So Jack kind of, it implies that maybe everything will be all right, but it kind of legally, in a legal sense, things are very complicated here.
Well, I do think that you can prove that he didn't do it.
Yeah.
You can prove it wasn't him. You could get a jury to say no because no one knows about what he did before. So as far as they know, he's a veteran who got set up.
But the police will walk in and they still have all, I mean, it's all, we know it's all rigged evidence. They're still going to walk into the evidence that exists in there. And they're not going to go out of their way to, you know, like Jack Reacher and Helen would have to, they would be the key witnesses, but Jack is going to leave, right?
You know, don't go into
only
this.
Helen can really testify to this.
Yeah, they don't go into that part, but this is almost the kind of thing where if they did want to wrap it up, they would end up saying that police guy died taking down these bad guys who he figured out were the bad guys. That's how you spin that. Because he's also dead. But yeah. Rah.
Well, Barr, he's been beaten into a coma through this whole movie. The guy was framed. And he wakes up and it's like he forgot what happened. So he then describes again, Helen's a little optimistic, like, we're going to help you out. We know you didn't do this. But the guy also admits that he did bad things in the past. And he actually, like, thinks that he might have done this crime and just forgot all about it.
And I love this part because she shows him all the pictures. This is where they say you were. This is where the shots happened. How would you do this?
He describes the bridge.
Or he doesn't even say this is where they say you were. She just shows him all the pictures around, and he says, "Oh, I would go on the bridge," and
which is not evidence that he didn't do it, by the way. But yeah,
no, but it is.
It just
validates
that, like,
to
her.
He would have done the same thing. But I do love that. You know, Jack Reacher made him a promise that if I ever see you again, I will kill you, because he couldn't. You know, he didn't go down for his crimes, so Jack was like, I will murder you. But the reason he called Jack is because he also knew Jack was the only person in the world who was going to get to the bottom of it.
Because he forgot he even asked for him to begin with. He describes a man that
is looking for him.
Will do anything to bring people to justice and do the right thing. And then he describes Jack.
And he's going to come and get me.
And then we end on Jack Reacher getting up to go attack a guy who's beating his wife on a bus. Mm-hmm. Bold ass choice to beat your wife on a full public bus, by the way.
Yeah.
Especially when Jack Reacher is on the bus. That's dangerous. I give this movie a solid 4.
I'm a 3.75.
But I don't think I can go higher than that. But that's a solid score. So it's Jack Reacher 7.75. Jack Reacher was filmed all over Yinzerberg and the surrounding areas, covering a lot of regional ground.
Is that where Yins are from?
Yeah, that's where the term is from.
Cool.
The opening scene where people were being shot happened right along the Allegheny riverfront just outside of PNC Park, home of the Pittsburgh Pirates, the only Pittsburgh sports team I'm not mad at. The Jagoff that was sniping was shooting from across the river within the Stanwix Tower parking garage. Jack Reacher meets Helen, Emerson, and the DA at the Allegheny County Courthouse. The police department scenes we place at the Police Bureau Records Section building at the end of First Avenue, which is right next to the Allegheny County Jail. The Revalue Hardware store was likely just a repurposed building. We're replacing its equivalent at the Vought True Value Hardware on East Carson. Even though this map is showing the Miller Ace Hardware on Brownsville Road, I just found a better location after I marked this, and I don't want to go back and change it. So just move that spot in your mind to the Southside Flats. And we've been to the Southside Flats. Mm-hmm. The area where Jack meets Sandy and fights 5 dudes is a popular area called the Strip. We ate there as well. We place that conflict in the vicinity of 1900 Smallman Street. There's plenty more areas we can point out, like Robinson Township, Monroeville, and the Salzburg Quarry, but I think you get the picture. Jack, like Tyler from Sudden Death, has to eat. And we know from the Reacher TV show starring Alan Ritchson that Jack Reacher is not afraid to eat some candy and fatty foods. It's hard to say if he would be impressed with a Primanti Brothers sandwich. I would bet he'd eat a gob or a burnt almond tort, but sometimes you just want to get a slice. Everybody likes pizza, and when Jack decides he wants to see the local style of pizza, he might snap the neck of every person in the restaurant when they set this particular pizza in front of him. They call it Ohio Valley style pizza, which is a square pizza with your typical fare of cooked sauce and toppings. But what isn't cooked is the cheese. It's sprinkled room temperature on top of the pizza after the fact.
No.
The locals say don't knock it till you try it.
No.
I say don't tell me what to do. You're already fucking with us by putting French fries on salads. Mm-hmm. You're on food parole.
This bullshit is like when you order nachos and instead of queso, they put shredded cheese on it.
Oh, bullshit.
That's so much bullshit.
Jack is a go-with-the-flow guy. Maybe he wouldn't mind an Ohio Valley slice. It's hard to say. But if he ever finds himself in the town of Altoona, Pennsylvania, he could encounter what I think is probably a more challenging style of pizza. A squared and thick Sicilian-style pizza traditionally topped with tomato sauce, bell pepper, and salami. But you can see in this picture, if you're watching on YouTube, you see a PNG of the slice on the screen. It gets weird because Altoona style tops their slices with melted processed American cheese. Supposedly, they were originally topped with Velveeta cheese with the basic idea of very processed yellow cheese being the point of the Altoona style pizza. Personally, if I had to choose between Ohio Valley and Altoona, I would go with Ohio Valley.
Yeah.
The only way Altoona's pizzas could look worse if they topped it with ketchup. But the judgment doesn't end there. Altoona isn't only being derided for performing back alley pizza abortions.
Oh, God.
Altoona also happens to be the last town that Luigi Mangione stopped in before being wrongfully arrested for a murder of which he is absolutely innocent. I'm fairly certain that the McDonald's in question, where he was arrested, is the one on East Plank Road, where the bitch snitch manager called the Popo on the railroaded Mangione. So it's no surprise that the restaurant is rated very low, with the average score being 2 out of 5 stars, with several reviews on Restauranchi citing this McDonald's as having a rat problem. One very to-the-point review from JT on July of 2025 states, "Last time I went here, I saw a rat so big it could work the register." The pizza style and the snitching qualifies Altoona to be what we are dubbing a black hole town. A town that defies nature and the very sense of justice. A town that acts as an apostate to the faithful hopes of humanity's goodwill. It wouldn't surprise me at all to discover that people become completely sterile upon entering Altoona. Sterile not just in fertility, but in spirit. Sterile in hope. Can Altoona ever recover from this black hole status? Probably not. Too many giant rats in that town. But if you empty out that McDonald's, burn it down, incarcerate the snitching shift manager for no less than a year, only then can we properly evaluate Altoona's status as a black hole town. Until then, think of it as a void that you never approach lest you get sucked into its lifeless maw, as did Luigi Mangione. Fuck you, Altoona. That's our first black hole town. We will have more black hole towns.
Oh, I'm sure.
Altoona might think like I'm just picking on them because they're from some other place.
You're just the first.
When we get to Tennessee, I got 5 black hole towns just off the dome. That's my home state. I just know my own better than there. But Altoona sucks so bad that you realize it sucks just with the most surface amount of research. Altoona fucking sucks. But I will say, I don't think that managers should serve hard time. I'm not an over-incarceration type of person. Maybe she can just do like a weekend workhouse program for like 3 years.
Do a bunch of community service.
And maybe like you get your car taken away.